He said, well, they can fix it. I said, Douglas, they ain't gonna pass it because it's wrong. You know it's wrong, you fix it now.
Well,
Well, I'll have to come back and, I said, well, I guess you're gonna have to come back.
I looked at it, and I thought, maybe it's my computer, and I like zoomed it in, and I was like, no, that's what it says. And I didn't go back. She said Tuesday night was the same.
I thought it was the wrong number on the phone.
I want to add.
It is 6 o'clock.
For 1 year.
Hey, Greek, look at all this. How many nine? I know.
No. We respect
And I'm trying to keep specials. I know I do not need this tonight. I'm going to put this up here. And we will not need anything about the building tonight, right?
So, and then she, and then she's gonna retire.
See, I missed that step. I didn't know that she was.
Yeah.
This is the
I have to take it second. That,
Well, on the
last
list,
time I was she won't do
I need
it.
to turn my
right, but
phone
on
down.
the list, that's where they, I mean, you were in that meeting that night.
Do what?
Because they needed the plug or
I
something.
wasn't thinking about her even doing it. You know,
Where is he?
Yeah.
See, there it's closer to me. He's going to bump it.
Hey, we're supposed to have,
It's 6 o'clock.
hey, Jen, we're supposed to have a printed out budget.
He ain't here yet. He had to go back and redo it.
He had to go reprint it because it was wrong.
Okay, good.
Somebody found the error on it.
And
Yeah, I saw that. So,
I
yeah.
make sure to tell Mr. Curtis that you found it.
I'm ready, Madam Chair.
Okay, let's go.
Credit's you.
That costed us $800.
I don't know. We're not drinking that kind of water.
I was wanting to cut travel. It's just a couple thousand, but I mean,
You ready?
We're ready.
Okay, good evening, and we welcome you tonight to a very special evening. Very special to several that are in the audience this evening. So, as Director of Cannon County Schools, I'd like to welcome you to our school board meeting tonight. And board members, we have a very special opportunity each May. And usually, two things go on at the May board meeting. Number one, we recognize our retirees. Secondly, is the granting of tenure. Is another thing that normally happens on at the May meeting. But tonight I'd like to honor our retirees, those that have given many, many, many years of service to this. And you had your refreshments in the back, so we think, let's give a round of applause for our senior central office staff, Ms. Teresa Lewis and others who helped that. Thank y'all so much for making this a special night for these individuals who've given literally their lives for Cannon County schools, but particularly our students over the years and how that they have impacted their life, whatever their position, a teacher, a food service worker, an aide, whatever the position it is, these individuals have had an impact on some of them for 30 years. And so we want to thank them tonight. So when you come up, if you'll come up, we'd like to get a picture with you. If you would just remain standing and go across the front. I'd also like to thank tonight, does the place look a little different this evening? Does the place look different? It does look different. I wonder, we'd like to thank Mr. Michael Medford where we have this done so you don't have to look at the shoes or underneath the table here or whatever. And thank you, Michael Medford. Give him a hand. Thank you.
Harley can come barefooted, man.
And we have a new camera system up here too that Mr. Medford has got in place. So we appreciate that so very much. So at this time, our retirees, I'm going to read a certificate off. I'm going to read the first one off. And this one is, and I'll say the person's name, and this is awarded the Certificate of Appreciation for Faithful and Dedicated Service as a teacher or worker in Cannon County Schools. This person, Ms. Kay Barker, she retired last summer, but she didn't go through what we're doing tonight. She taught for 35 years in Cannon County Schools. Give Ms. Kay a hand tonight. Another person that has taught a number of years within our system, 30 years to be specific, and that is Miss Peggy Leach. We'll give Miss Peggy a hand tonight. She's probably watching online from her retirement. Our next awardee has been in Cannon County for 11 years. She previously taught in some other places, and that is Miss Lorena McCormick Krieger, or Denise as she goes by. Give Miss Denise a hand. The next awardee tonight is a long-term teacher here in Cannon County of 30 years, and that is Miss Deanna Reed. Miss Deanna Hand teaches at Auburn. Another individual tonight that is, it says as a teacher, but really we're all teachers in this, but this lady has served for 18 faithful and dedicated years as one of the unsung heroes in our district, and that's a custodian, and that is Miss Darlene Neal at Short Mountain. Give Darlene a hand. I'm eventually going to find somebody that's here. So this certificate goes to a very special lady who I really appreciated when I was at Cannon County High School, and that is Miss Patty Bailey. Miss Patty, come up. Our next person who has served for 16 years, and that is Miss Donna House. Miss Donna, okay, no Miss Donna. All right, our next person has also served for a number of years, but get this, 35 years feeding kids in the cafeterias here in Cannon County, and that is Miss Vicki Watts, our cafeteria manager at Eastside. And then last but not least, Cheryl, come on down, Cheryl. You've been with us 7 years, but you've been in our system for a long, long time. Give Miss Cheryl a hand. One more time, let's give all the honorees and retirees a great round of applause. Can you bring me my phone, please? Okay, Madam Chairman, I am ready to call the roll.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. McMackins.
Here.
Mr. Mullins.
Here.
Ms. Gannon.
Here.
Ms. Thomas.
Here.
Chairman Duggan.
Here.
Madam Chairman, you have 5 members present, none absent. You do have a quorum.
Thank you. Number 1 is to approve the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
A second.
Mrs. Curtis?
One comment, Madam Chairman. It was motion by Ms. Thomas, seconded by Ms. Gannon, and this is the revised agenda. I just want to make sure everybody knows that. The revised agenda that's in red.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, you have 5 ayes, no nays.
Thank you. Number 2 is the consent agenda. Mr. Curtis.
Madam Chairman, the consent agenda consists of to approve the minutes of the April 14th, 2022 meeting of the board and approve the minutes of the April 22nd, 2022 special called emergency meeting of the board, to modify the 2020-2022 calendar to swap the teacher workday and in-service day to provide 2 days together for a training session for the new Cannon County Elementary and Middle School staff. Number 2 is a typo to move Martin Luther King Day from January 17 to January 16 of 2023. And then we have some overnight and out-of-state trips. These are a number of trips that are going out of state to conventions. Number 4160 has been canceled. Number 4162 is Cannon County High School Tea and Strong Youth Summit in Chattanooga from June the 5th to June the 7th. You have the, on number 4168, the West Side School National Beta Cup Convention going to Nashville from June 26th to June the 30th of 2022. And then trip number 4175, Cross Country Camp, Swanee University, Swanee, Tennessee. And that is the camp they've been going to for many years now. That's on July 16th through July 17th. And then number 4176, the National Beta Club Convention in Nashville. And that is from the 27th to the 30th, and you have multiple ones going to that from various schools. And that's all the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Motion made by Mr. Mullins, seconded by Ms. Thomas to approve the consent agenda as read. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, you have 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 3 was an update from Architect Gregor Smee. That was the workshop only. You don't need to talk about that either.
No action is necessary by this board unless otherwise noted.
Number 4 was the safety report, and it was the workshop only. Number 5 was the ESSER report, workshop only. Number 6 was approve ESSER budget amendments for ESSER 1.0, ESSER 3.0, and the Tennessee All-Core Grant.
Madam Chairman, our ESSER coordinator and learning loss supervisor, Ms. Stephanie Alexander, gave a budget amendment that is in your packet to amend ESSER 1.0, ESSER 3.0, and the Tennessee All-Cores Grant. And if you want to read that, I can read that if you'd like, Madam Chairman.
No, sir, that's okay.
I make a motion to approve the ESSER budget amendments.
I'll second.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Motion made by Ms. Gannon, seconded by Mr. McMackins to approve the budget amendments for ESSER 1.0, 3.0, and Tennessee All-Cores Grant as presented. See attached to place into the minutes. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 7, approve the Tennessee Best for All District Grant. I'll make a motion to approve the Tennessee Best for All District Grant.
I'll second.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Motion made by Ms. Duggins, or Chairman Duggins, seconded by Mr. Mullins to approve the Tennessee Best for All District Grant, funds expended by June 30th, 2023, to supplement the salaries of 2 guidance counselors for $132,920,000, and FTE 0.5, TN All-Core Tutor Coordinator for $42,080. These are both estimates. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, you have 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 8, Volunteer Behavioral Health Services Agreement to add a public child development specialist at one pre-K 5 school. Mr. Curtis.
This was presented by Coordinator of School Health, Ms. Bonnie Patterson, and this is to allow Cannon County Schools to enter into an agreement with Volunteer Behavioral Health Services to place a mental health professional in a Cannon County school. And I think Ms. Patterson explained that quite well. This gives us permission to enter into the agreement, and we can sign the MOU with that party once that is completed.
Thank you.
I make a motion, we, agree for her to move on.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Motion made by Mr. Mullins, seconded by Ms. Duggan, to allow Cannon County Schools to enter into an agreement with Volunteer Behavioral Health Services to place a mental health professional in a Cannon County school with an MOU with said organization. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Carly.
Aye.
Gannon, sorry. Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
And Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 9, approve of disposition of inoperable, obsolete federal items. Mr. Curtis.
There is a long list of federal items. This allows, we have to get and go through a procedure if it's bought with federal funds to allow disposition of these inoperable, obsolete federal items from our inventory. And there is a long list of inventory items, and I will, if you would like me to read that, I will. Ms. Mullins will be reading along.
No, sir, that's fine. We've already looked that over.
I make a motion, we dispose of those items.
Second.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Motion made by Ms. Gannon, seconded by Mr. Mullins to allow disposition of inoperable, obsolete federal items from inventory as presented on accompanying documentation. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 10 is to approve resolution number BOE 2122, number 9. Mr. Curtis.
Resolution number BOE 2129, number 9, is a resolution that has to do with Chromebook funds that were gained. We charged out for Chromebooks, and we've got miscellaneous refunds. That's in item 44170, line 44170, amount of $25,000. And to put this back into technology goes into account number 72250, educational technology, other equipment, and these fees for Chromebooks been received throughout the school year for Chromebook usage and damage. Funds collected will be used to replace and repair other Chromebooks.
I make a motion to approve this resolution.
I second that.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Motion made by Ms. Duggan, Chairman Duggan, and seconded by Ms. Thomas to approve resolution number BOE 2122, number 9, increase revenues and fees and increase the expenditures on fees for Chromebooks as presented. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 11, request to County Commission regarding use of parking lot across West Adams Street from current Woodbury Grammar School. Mr. Curtis.
As we well know, there is an unused, literally an unused piece of ground that is right across from the building that we are in. That has not been used in multiple years except for trucks that are from some of those plants that are in the area that use that for parking. And I think looking at that, we've talked about this at the workshop, that we can utilize that across the street for additional parking for Woodbury Grammar. As this school goes from Cannon County Elementary to Cannon County Middle, we will be in need of additional employee, I underscore the word employee, parking. And so with that, if we could enter an agreement with the county to utilize that property, I think it would be excellent. And see what the county does say about in regard to doing that.
Make a motion, we move forward on the use of the parking lot across the road.
I'll second.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Motion made by Mr. Mullins, seconded by Ms. Duggan to request to be on the June 2nd, 2022, 5:30 p.m. Cannon County Commission meeting agenda in regard to Cannon County Schools' use of the parking lot across West Adams Street from the current Woodbury Grammar School. Mr. McMackins?
Aye.
Mr. Mullins?
Aye.
Ms. Gannon?
Aye.
Ms. Thomas?
Aye.
Chairman Duggan?
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 12, review Cannon County Board Policies 6.400 to 6.710, students. Continued. Mr. Curtis.
Madam Chairman, the Cannon County Board of Education reviewed Cannon County Board of Education Policy 6.400, 6.710, students. This is the second part. Last month you reviewed the first part. This is the second part of this policy, and these are policies having to do with students. All of these are reviewed by Tennessee School Boards Association and are in Tennessee Code annotated. So again, this has been reviewed by TSBA, and some of them are getting a little dated, and I think later time you look at those and even more, and what's happened, state law has not changed since that time. So that's why you see the 06, the state laws are not probably keeping up with the modern times. So we'll keep an eye on that and through TSBA. But this would say that this was reviewed.
I'll make a motion to approve those policy changes.
I'll second that.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Motion made by Mr. McMacken, seconded by Ms. Thomas, that the Cannon County Board of Education reviewed Cannon County Board of Education Policy 6.400 to 6.710, students. Continued. Mr. McMackins?
Aye.
Mr. Mullins?
Aye.
Ms. Gannon?
Aye.
Ms. Thomas?
Aye.
Chairman Duggan?
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 13, discuss Hoover property acquisition. Mr. Curtis.
Well, Madam Chairman, I did meet with those individuals with the Hoover property, and I want to use the term astronomical is probably the term I would use in our meeting with the finance department and the current owners of the former Hoover property. And I hate to say that we were outpriced, but we were, and it was astronomical what it was going to cost in regard to the acquisition of that property next door. We did talk about that. They said they would have some of it or do whatever, and trying to be good neighbors to that. And I brought you those messages from our meeting to the workshop.
Does this need a motion?
Unless you have a motion on the floor.
No, I'm just asking you. Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
No, I believe we can move on.
I will record in the minutes, no action taken.
Thank you. Number 14, discuss action on bids for WGS, Cannon County Elementary School and Cannon County Middle School
Addition.
additions. Go ahead, Mr. Curtis.
Madam Chairman, we got the bids for the addition, and that's addition on the front of Woodbury Grammar School. And you saw the results of that at the workshop. The lowest bid was from Sane Construction Company, and you heard architect Gregor Smead give a report regarding those bids, and that was the base bid amount $2,955,500, and the alternate was 208. It was the $208,000 was the alternate bid that would be taken off from that if you went with that alternate process. I think these were good bids. The Sane Construction Company was basically $277.82 per square feet. That was less than what was expected because of the enormous price increases that we've seen in recent times. So the architect agrees, Mr. Smee agrees, this is a good bid and an appropriate bid for to doing the 8-room addition onto Woodbury Grammar.
I'm going to make a motion that we table this to the June meeting.
I will second that, due to that that'll be okay with the 45-day limit. We just counted that up. So.
It will be,
Yep.
but just barely, but it will be.
Yep.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Just a second, Madam Chairman.
Sure.
Motion made by Ms. Duggan, seconded by Ms. Thomas to table this item until the June meeting of the Cannon County Board of Education. And I'll go ahead in the minutes if I can and find out what that date is, and we'll put that into the minutes. Mr. Atkins.
How many days we have left for the bid run back?
Day after or something?
The day after that meeting?
Yes, sir.
Something like that.
That's right at it.
Because you realize that basically gonna run out.
It is probably gonna run out.
You might rebid.
Yeah.
Okay. Aye.
Mr. Mullins. Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays. We'll put this at the top of the agenda for the June meeting.
Number 15, discussion of upcoming vacant properties. I'm going to make a motion that we table this till the June meeting because they're not really vacant yet.
I'll second
Mr. Curtis, please call the vote.
Motion made by Ms. Duggan, seconded by Mr. Mullins to table this until the June meeting of the Cannon County Board, June 2022 meeting of the Cannon County Board of Education. Mr. Atkins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays. I would like to say something on this just briefly, and that I got a report today from Ms. Melody Edmonds, the president of TCAT McMinnville, and the feasibility study. They're trying to push that, but the TCAT and the Board of Regents and TCAT have other projects, major projects going across the state. So we're hoping that that feasibility study will be concluded by summer. And I'm going to try to speed that along myself with some help from friends in the legislature to see if we can get that moving along a little bit more. The feasibility study has been approved, and the architects have been working on that. They have just received, and TCAT through the Board of Regents, extra funds from Governor Bill Lee's office and through the legislature to do things of this type. So the capacity is great right now at Tennessee government, but they are going to work hard, and hopefully that Ms. Edmonds says that we can see something by this summer to see this on a positive thing, because they are very, very interested. In fact, I'll send you an update that they sent out that they do for TCAT McMinnville to their advisory board, and this was mentioned in their update. So I'm very positive. I'm certainly hopeful that this project can be moving along. And I did talk with other directors this past week surrounding us. Director Swallows from Warren County discussed this, and also the Director Lawson from Coffee County discussed this too. And Coffee says, well, we have things, but if you're offering something that we can't offer, we'd love to partner in there with us. And DeKalb County also. So this is a real positive for Cannon County schools and Cannon County in general, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Number 16, granting of tenure to qualified teachers. Cannon County Board of Education Policy 5.117. Mr. Curtis.
Madam Chairman, it is my honor and privilege as the Director of Cannon County Schools to recommend the following outstanding educators to be granted tenure in the Cannon County school system. These individuals have met the following requirements as indicated in Cannon County Board of Education Policy 5.117 and Tennessee Code Annotated Sections 49-5-501, 11A, and TCA 49-5-503. A teacher that meets the following requirements is eligible for tenure. Has a degree from an approved four-year college or any career and technical teacher who has the equivalent amount of training established and is licensed by the State Board of Education, holds a valid teacher license issued by the State Board of Education based on training covering the subjects or grades taught, has completed a probationary period of 5 years of not less than 45 months with a 7-year period, the last 2 years being employed in a regular teaching position rather than an interim teaching position, and 4, has received evaluations demonstrating an overall performance effectiveness level of above expectation or significantly above expectations as provided in the evaluation guidelines adopted by the State Board of Education during the last 2 years of their probationary period. Furthermore, the letter serves as my official recommendation pursuant to Canyon County Board of Education Policy 5.117, and I'm going to forego reading that unless you desire me to read that, Madam Chairman. So, and we did not have any teacher in our county returning to employment after being gone, having tenure, then leaving, and then coming back. We do not have to reinstate any tenure of a person who met those qualifications. So those teachers who are eligible for tenure for the first time, my official recommendation for these 13 teachers who have met the requirements and are eligible for initial tenure are Ms. Amanda Francis of Auburn Elementary, Mr. Colin Jones of Canyon County High School, Ms. Jennifer Carter of Auburn Elementary, Ms. Jamie DeLong of Woodbury Grammar School, Ms. Heather Rao of Canyon County High School, Ms. Lacey Eckert of Canyon County High School, Ms. Cammie Smith of Canyon County High School, Ms. Carolyn Bartlett of Canyon County High School, Ms. Linda Cook of Canyon County High School, Ms. Suzanne Hammocks of Woodland Elementary School, Mr. Corey Steffes of Woodland Elementary School, he's the school counselor there and at Short Mountain, Ms. Karen Seward of Woodbury Grammar School, and Ms. Suzette Sandifer of Westside Elementary School, Auburn School, and Eastside School as a school counselor. And these have met the qualifications, and I strongly recommending your initial tenure to be granted to these individuals. Outstanding individuals, Madam Chairman. We have made the list and checked it and checked it and checked it. Dr. Milton and myself have gone through it and through it and through it and scoured all records that we have, and we believe these individuals are qualified for and are eligible, for tenure.
I make a motion to grant tenure to these qualified teachers.
Motion made by Chairman Duggan, seconded by Mr. Mullins, to grant tenure for the following eligible teachers: Amanda Francis, Colin Jones, Jennifer Carter, Jamie DeLong, Heather Rao, Lacey Eckert, Cammie Smith, Carolyn Bartlett, Linda Cook, Suzanne Hammocks, Corey Steffes, Karen Seward, and Suzette Sandifer. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays. I think these individuals earn a round of applause from this body.
Number 17 is discussion action regarding contracted buses and drivers. Mr. Curtis.
You heard at the workshop, Transportation Supervisor Lisa Black, she gave to you a copy of the contract that we have already sent to Attorney Michael R. Jennings. I checked my email right before I came and also gave him a call, and that is not complete yet. So what I'd recommend to do is we'll bring this back to you for action at the June meeting is what I would recommend, and we've already sent it to the attorney. So I'd like to bring this back to you at the June meeting of the board.
I make a motion to table this until the June meeting.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Gannon, by Chairman Duggan, seconded by Ms. Gannon, to send the attached copy to be evaluated by the Canyon County Board of Attorney, Mr. Michael R. Jennings, and bring back to the June meeting. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
Aye.
Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 18, CCEA discussion, substitute restitution for teachers and insurance. Mr. Curtis.
Just a second. Okay, we talked about this at the workshop. You heard testimony from the CCEA, Canyon County Education Association, for those who don't know what that means, and the discussion regarding substitute restitution for teachers and also an increase in insurance. Right now, we are in the middle of about to call it negotiation, but collaborative conferencing with the CCEA in doing this, and I believe that the substitute restitution for teachers is a good thing. They've been covering classes all during the COVID experience. I think it would be good. We are going to be increasing through your budget, I believe, to raise our sub pay and getting more and trying to get more qualified subs that will be doing this so that teachers won't have to utilize and have to sub in another classroom during their planning period or that type. So there's where I stand on this restitution for those teachers and the insurance. I think you've been talking about that in your budget deliberations in regarding that.
I just have one question. Is that considered double dipping? If we've already got a teacher salary and we're paying them one set salary already?
In my opinion, no, and the reason is because they are on their planning period, if that were to be the case. So I don't see that being double dipping. Other systems,
But we pay them for a set amount of hours.
we do indeed. But if we take them away from their planning, then it would be. I think it needs to be stated a little bit more, but I mean, other systems are doing this. So I do believe it to be approved by the state to allow them to do that.
In my opinion, it's, Mr. Mullins, it's like saying, we've given you this job to do for this set amount of time, but now we're gonna take we're gonna take you away from that, we're gonna give you another job.
And I understand that, it's just, and teaching is way different than what I do, but if I'm contracted at one facility already, and if I bid an extra job, I can't put labor on that job. I have to charge it to what I have, so that's why I was just looking at it at that kind of deal, so that's why I just wanna make sure we're legal and we're not double dipping funds. I'm not against it, I just wanna make sure we're not gonna legally get in trouble.
Right.
I got you, I'm following you now.
Other systems, I know are doing that. Josie, Ms. Sissom, I know that y'all probably got that legislation from other, or this for a collaborative conference, so you get it from another county. Is that correct?
I just wanna make sure we're all covered. Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Right.
Does it seem to be tabled? Thanks. I'm going to make a motion that we table this to the June meeting when the CCBOE brings the MOU to the board.
I second that.
Mr. Curtis, please call the roll.
Motion made by Ms. Douglas, seconded by Ms. Thomas, to table this motion until the June meeting of the Cannon County Board of Education. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins. Ms. Gannon.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Douglas.
Aye.
And Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays.
Number 19, approve general purpose budget FY '23 to send to Cannon County Budget Committee and Cannon County Commission. Mr. Curtis.
And Chairman, you can see the email that the board received from Mr. Douglas Jennings, who is now approaching the platform, who give a few more papers to give out to you. And this was also emailed to the board earlier this afternoon, literally hot off the press. With a correction.
Did a miracle work, didn't he? Good Lord.
I had to look at that color myself, Mr. McMakin,
Yeah.
to make sure I was on the,
Thank you, do my
I was
best.
not colorblind
You don't mind?
and looking at that. Madam Chairman, I'd like to commend the board. I guess this budget has been scrutinized more than any budget in, at least in my term as director, and probably in a long, long time. Douglas said the same thing, or those that have been here longer than I have said the same thing. And y'all have, I commend the board on line item by line item, thing by thing, so item by item. So I commend the board on your diligence on this budget.
I gotta ask one question, I'm sure it's, I know the answer, but I'm not sure I'm understanding. Probably a big chunk of that came because you took, a big chunk of that in the red is reflected here by taking out the raises, right?
And we won't know until, what do you think, Douglas, on what a penny brings in? We won't know that probably for another few weeks. The meeting of the Canyon County Budget Committee is May the 19th, 5 o'clock, and that it will be located in the committee room, 110 South Tatum, which is right above our offices. There in the committee room is when the Canyon County Budget Committee meets. Correct, Mr. Applebaum? That's at 5 p.m.
I'm going to make a motion that we approve the general purpose budget FY '23 to send to the Cannon County Budget Committee and Cannon County Commission.
I'll second.
Mr. Gross, please call the roll.
Motion made by Ms. Duggan, seconded by Mr. McMackins, to adopt the attached general purpose school budget FY '23 to send to the Cannon County Budget Committee and the Cannon County Commission. Mr. McMackins.
Aye.
Mr. Mullins.
This is sending it with a 30 cents increase, right? This is
Yes.
30 cents. I'm gonna vote for it, but I want all your support staff to know I'm 100% for this. But don't be mad at us when it don't get approved across the road over here, please. Because, guys, we can't control their votes on how much money they're gonna give us. So, if they send it back, I promise you I'll do what I can to keep it. I'll vote for it.
Ms. Gannon.
I also wanted to say that we are still working on the scale, and we will continue working on that.
A work in progress. Ms. Thomas.
And I will like to say, I hope the commissioners are listening because I'm very hopeful and positive, right, Mr. Mullins?
Chairman Duggan.
Aye.
Madam Chairman, 5 ayes, no nays, and I would like to add that this is, if you look at the front line, and if your permission, we'll put this on the website. With your permission, Madam Chairman, and the board. And if you'll look at the local tax burden on that, the estimated revenues, that's going from 69.5 to 99.5. So we will put this on, and we will put proposed, we will put draft on there if I have the permission of the board, just verbally.
You're gonna do that before we give it to the committee?
Right before or at that date on May the 19th. What's your desire for me?
That's fine.
Okay, are we good?
Proposed red and bold font.
Proposed red, bold font. So Teresa, you hear that? Douglas, you hear that? Proposed, it needs to be proposed. When you send me the one for the website, and send out proposed red draft. Okay, and you're exactly right, Mr. Mullins, we need staff to back this budget up and back it to the commission. That's the next step.
And guys, you need to be at that commissioners meeting, because the commissioners are already talking about taking money from us that they legally can do because we've lost students in our system. And so we need all the support we can at those meetings.
Can I say something, Madam Chairman? And it'll be real quick. I just want to make the point that, quite honestly, looking at this and studying this and working on this, I want to say that Ms. Gannon has done a lot of work in digging. Quite honestly, if they cut anything from us, Cannon County Schools will have a very hard time surviving. And instead of thinking on that, I think we need to start thinking about, and our commissioners do too, about how we can make Cannon County Schools thrive, not barely survive. We need to thrive. The children and students deserve that. So, thank you, Madam Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Number 20 is the modernization and restructuring update. Mr. Curtis.
Madam Chairman, you've worked on this, the board has worked on this, and continue to work this on the 5-year plan. We are progressing, and I will give more in my director's comments in a few moments. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Number 21 is director's comments.
I had a little bit of a reprieve. This evening, I'd like to spend a few moments just talking about the word change and what is going on with change within our system. We are at the end of a school year. It's always exciting when you're in the classroom and you have the exciting end of a school and all those things that take place, the celebrations of each school that are going on between now and May the 27th, when is the last day of school. This will be a historic time as schools come to a close, and that term is literal. And we want to celebrate the successes of thousands and thousands of students that have gone through Cannon County schools in the last 65 years. We have this implementation of the 5-year plan, which is just the start. And being the start is the implementation. We have a Cannon County Middle School. We have a principal that resigned within this last 24 hours. And the timeline on that, I would like to give publicly as I'm working diligently on that. And we are looking at, if we feel that in-house or in county, then I'm looking at an announcement by next week. And as early as the middle of next week, if we go outside, I've already had a conference with CCEA President Josie Sissom, in that I will be asking for an exemption from the 15-day time period due to circumstances. And I would like to have, if we go outside, if I go outside of the county, then we would like to announce that probably by the end of next week. And so that was unexpected and due to the literal solution beyond our control. So my promise is we'll fill that is with the best quality of person that we could possibly find. But I'm telling you, we're under a crunch time. I'm under crunch time on that because of what needs to be done in the next few weeks toward the end of the school year and the beginning and the implementation of the 5-year plan on July 1. We're going to be sending out a letter to parents. This will be published on the website and also sent out on Bright Arrow regarding restructuring and rezoning. Lisa Black and I are working on a letter to send out, and we hope to get that to every parent in Cannon County schools. I'm kind of appalled that nobody's know that we're restructuring, but there are some people out there that have not evidently heard that we're restructuring. So for the 2022-2023 school year. So it's kind of appalling that they are, but guess what? We're going to contact, our goal is to contact each and every parent and informing them where they will be at next year, and doing that by multiple means. We're looking at logistics of moving and storage, and this is a monumental task. And assisting with that, we will have building needs at these schools. I've been in contact with architect Gregor Smee, and we're looking at having to do some modifications at a couple of schools, particularly and specifically Woodland, that's going to have some rooms divided for their specials and special education program. So we'll be moving on that rapidly on the building needs there. We have, with your adopting this budget, we have a facility supervisor that I would like to go ahead and get employed by the 1st of June and get that person moving on that. And of course, our maintenance, I'm waiting on a go-ahead on a maintenance chief that will be able to assist us greatly with with various projects. And not only in supervising those projects, but being a worker on those projects, particularly with heating and air and electrical issues. So building upgrades into these schools and the building needs that we have. Our summer school program will be going on. Anybody watching this and your child is not enrolled in our summer school needs to get in contact with Principal Emily Hancock. Our summer school will be taking place literally in 3 locations. The main location at Eastside School. The second location, Cannon County High School, with our remediation there for high school students. And then for our special needs students, some of them will be here at Woodbury Grammar in our special needs program here. So it's going to be a busy, busy summer. We have teachers that will be involved in special training, particularly reading at the early literacy. We have training that will be taking place online, and also training that will be taking place in person here in Cannon County. We have that training is divided and will be divided up into early literacy training, and then also for the upper grades, 6 through 12, they will be in specialized training, which is online, and an opportunity for those teachers to have reading, because the legislature passed, the General Assembly passed that all teachers will be having reading specialization or specialized courses in reading, no matter what you teach. If you're a CTE person, or you're a social studies or science or math teacher, that you must have. If you have certification in the state of Tennessee to redo your certification, you will have to have that reading course, that online reading course, whether it's at the lower grades, meaning your early literacy, or at the upper grades if you're teaching something else in the upper grades. So we have a busy, busy summer ahead of us. And the next time that we meet, our summer school program will be underway, and it will be going. So time is of the essence, whether it's logistics or closing a school or rebranding a school. All of that is, we've got a lot of work to be doing this summer. So if anybody tells you that we have the summers off, please inform them. They are misinformed. that we will be working very, very hard. And I want to commend our teachers for an outstanding school year. Even in the middle of all of the restructuring and modernization, I'd like to thank you personally for what you've done and what you do every single day to make our schools one of the best schools, our best school systems in the state of Tennessee. That we are involved, we are following our mission, that we are engaged in excellence every day and in every way. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
I don't have any comments. Number 23 is to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.